Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this video. In today's video, I want to share with you guys my mixing process for one of my beats. And I'm going to be using last week's beat, which is called This Beat Wouldn't Let Go of Me. A lot of you asked me if I could show you guys how I got the sounds for that beat, how I mixed it. So I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. But just before that, just a quick announcement. Some of you also asked me if I could make available in the Art of Creative Beat Making, which is my new masterclass, just the mixing part of that masterclass. Because some of you are producers, you're not drummers, so you're not maybe interested in the tuning, the muffling part of that masterclass. So it is available now on my website, just the mixing part, which is still very in-depth. It's almost 5 hours in length. And I also made available just the tuning, muffling, and tone modifying part, and mic placement for drummers or anybody else who's interested in that. And of course, they're for a lot cheaper than the full masterclass. And for right now, everything on my website is on sale for the next few days. So if you want to get loops, if you want to get the Improve Your Groove video package or the Art of Creative Beat Making, everything is on sale. So if you are interested, click on the link below and have a look. So that's it. Let's take a look at the mixing of last week's beat. So here is the session, and as you can see, I only have a stereo file here of the drums. It's because the session that I had for this beat that I did, I lost that session. So all I had was just a bounce of the stereo drums. Usually I process, each element of the kit, the kick, snare, overheads. I'm just going to play it first. Okay, so that's what it sounds like after I did some processing on it. So now I'm just going to remove all the plugins, and so you could just hear what it sounds like raw. So here's what it sounds like with no processing. So it already sounds pretty good just like that. But this is something I already had balanced, but I didn't really process it. So the drums are pretty much raw. And I think I just used 4 mics for this beat. I just had 2 overheads, 1 kick mic, and 1 room mic, because I really wanted an old school kind of open sound. So now let's just look at some plugins that I used and what I did to it. So first let's look at the master bus or the mix bus here. And so the first plugin that I put in the master bus is a plugin by Isotope called Vinyl. So I'm going to first play it without, and then I'm going to bring it in. Okay, so now I'm going to bring it in. So all I did with this plugin, it adds a bit of kind of vintage, vinyl sound. And here I engage the warp sound, which kind of gives it a kind of tape wobble sound. And that's all I have for this. So all I really wanted from it was that kind of warp sound, especially when I hit the cymbals. Let me find the spot here. See right there? You hear that kind of wobble. So, and then I have here, this is a Universal Audio plugin. This is the Ampex ATR 102, so it's a tape machine This is a remodeling of the original Ampex tape machine. And I'll let you hear first without, and then I'll bring it in. Now I'll bring it in. I'll take it out. Bring it in. So this really colors the sound and really gives it that kind of tape glue to the sound. It really removes a lot of the high end and also some low end. It just gives it a really cool vibe. And I removed a lot of the noise here. See if you hear that. And I took the wow and flutter off from the tape machine. And I also just messed around a little bit with the EQ here. With the bias, so if you listen, there it's darker. So I just added more just for a little bit of higher end EQ so it's not so dark. And this is giving a little bit of grit, a little bit of dirt to the sound. Then the next thing I used was, this is Sound Toys, the effects rack, and I just used a preset called Tiled Room, which is just kind of echo effect, and I'll let you hear. It's not doing a lot, but it just adds a nice vibe to it. So I'll play first without it. Now I'm going to add it in. I'm going to take it out. Add it in. So it's just adding that little short kind of echo, which sounds like a reverb more than an echo. I'll just let you guys hear what it sounds like if I add a lot more in the mix, because I really took the mix down on this one. I just wanted to add just a little bit of air to it. So if I add more, that's what it sounds like. So I just brought it here. And the next thing that I use plugin is, this is from Fab Filter Saturn. And I love these Fab Filter plugins for drums. You could really mess with sounds and dirt and all kinds of stuff. And here I just used a preset also called Tape Smash 2. So I'll play without. With, without, with. So it's adding more grit and more dirt to it and a bit of compression. And I really took the mix down for this one to 16% because I just wanted just a little bit of that sound. And so now let's look at just on the track what I used. And I used here, this is plugin by Isotope called Trash 2. This is an amazing plugin. I love it and I use it a lot. Unfortunately, it was discontinued, but I just received an email from Isotope and they're just coming out with a new version of Trash, which is amazing. And so I'll let you just hear what this is doing. So just first without. Now I'll bring it in. Without. And with. So this I'm using also, this is a preset that I love and I use a lot called Hot Hot Honey. And what this does is it really kind of tightens all the sounds using a gate. And it also kind of brings the, what I find this brings the kick and snare really more up front and forward. But I really use this a lot for when I want electric sounds and I want to really shorten some sounds of the kit if they're resonating too much. It really like kind of brings everything kind of into a smaller, I see it kind of like a round ball of sound. So, and this is a great plugin. You have so many different things that you could do. Filters, you have the trash setting, which is all different kinds of distortions and saturations. You have filters, you have a convolve, which is also filters, different kinds of filters. You have compressors and gates and delay all in one plugin. It's really cool. And for this one, I didn't put the mix all the way. I just took it down a bit to where it sounded good. And the next one that I used is, this is a plugin by Arteria called Tape Mowfi. And this is again a tape emulator. And for this one, really what I'm using it for is a little bit of the drive and mostly for the tape slowdown, which is at the end of the beat where it kind of goes crazy, and I'll show you guys after. So I used it mostly for automation, but it's also coloring the sound of the drums a little bit. So I'll let you hear what it sounds like. This is without, and now with. Without, with. So I wanted to kind of darken it a bit. So here you have a filter. So I just took it down just a little bit. If you hear, I'll bring it up. That brightens it up. So I like it right there. And I also added just a little bit of drive. Just a tiny bit of drive, just for a little bit extra crunch. And sometimes I really like to do that. Different levels of drive from different plugins. So here I'm using this from the vinyl, from the Ampex, and from the Saturn plugin too. So they're all, I just add a little bit every time, and sometimes it gives a really cool dirt to the sound. Okay, so now that's pretty much the tone of the drums, all the plugins I use just to kind of affect the tone of the drums, how I liked it. And now here I created an auxiliary track, and this is for more like the loop kind of sounds happening behind the drums. And all it is I'm sending the sound of the drums through a bus to this track here, and I'm using 2 Isotope Trash plugins to kind of give me these loop sounds. So the drums are triggering these plugins, and I'm doing that through automation. But for right now, I'm just going to bring them in just to show you what each plugin is doing. Okay, so now they're both bypassed. The first one I'm going to bring in. So this is what it's doing, this one here. So it's just boosting some frequencies and adding a bit of distortion, and it's creating this sound. And this is a preset called Gcan. And so this I'm automating in and out as I hear, as the piece goes on. And then this second one here, let's hear what it's doing. So the rhythm of the drums is creating that rhythm. It's triggering distortion and different filters that are making this sound almost like an electric guitar. And then at one point I bring both of them together. So those are the kind of loop sounds which I'm using through automation. So I just turn this on and they come in and out on their own. And there it's out. So sometimes I do this. I just let the beat play and then I bring things in and out as I hear it. If I wanted to lift, if I wanted to drop. Sometimes I go along with the beat. Sometimes I could change the whole dynamic of the beat, depending on how I structure these things coming in and out. Okay, so let's have a look at the end now where things kind of get wacky. I'm using this tape Mowfi by Arteria. I'm pretty much using this just for the tape stop and for the wow, just to really make things get crazy, slow it down, speed it up. And I love doing that when it changes all the pitches of the drums, and sometimes if you're playing on the toms, it creates all these weird melodies. So let's have a look at that, and I'll show you what's happening there. Go to the end, okay, here. So here I engage the tape stop, and I'm turning the wow at the same time. Then I let go of the tape stop, so it kind of goes fast forward. So I'm taking the tape stop in and out there till it comes to a full stop. That's it. Very, very cool plugin. Love this plugin by Arteria. So guys, this is pretty much it for this beat. This is a pretty simple one just because I didn't have all the individual tracks. So I just had the stereo track to work with. But most times I'm working with 10 individual tracks, 2 kick mics, room mics, and all the close mics and the overheads. And that's it. Hope you guys got something out of this. And if any of you are interested, like I said, there's a sale on my website. If you guys want to dig a little bit deeper into how I mix my certain beats, I do a very in-depth deep dive in the art of creative beat making. So I wish you guys a great week, and I'll see you soon.